Oh, this is interesting, folks. It seems that Bob Iger wants to quiet the noise regarding culture war issues because they are not healthy for Disney business. Well, maybe if he just got rid of all the culture, wokeness, and whatnot, he would actually make more profit. Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews. So, report. Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger wants to quiet the noise regarding the culture war issues because they are not healthy for Disney business. Yeah. I mean, all you really need to do is just get rid of wokeness in your stuff. Needham financial analyst Laura Martin recently attended a 120-person investor event at Walt Disney World and reported on September 20th that during this event, Bob Iger explicitly stated he wanted to quiet the noise on culture war issues. In Martin's report, which she provided to Bounding into Comics, she explained that Iger believes content should be entertaining, not issues-focused. Iger was the one who started pushing wokeness in Disney. Not Chapek. Iger. And now he's realizing that, oh, we may have made a mistake here. I doubt it. Furthermore, she detailed that Iger's key goal is to quiet the noise because culture wars are not healthy for Disney's business. The report echoes comments Iger made to CNBC's David Faber back in July. Faber asked the executive, "What about DeSantis, who's going on to be, or on the hustings, so to speak, for the next year, and he's made this a part of his campaign, attacking Disney, saying it's a woke corporation. We've put the company on a pedestal but they've really embraced the idea of getting the sexualized content in the program line, and I'm not willing to cross." I mean, that's what he said. I quoted DeSantis there. How do you respond to that? Iger replied, "Well, so far what we've said publicly is that we are concerned that he has decided to retaliate against the company for a position the company took on pending legislation in the state, the parental rights bill for schools and children in schools. Frankly, the company was within its right, even though I'm not sure it was handled very well. It was within the right to speak up on an issue constitutionally protecting right of free speech." Yeah, except that there is, I went to school. You want to know what a lot of schools don't like? Free speech. And they will tell you flat out, you're allowed to say, or you're allowed to express yourself, you are not allowed to endanger others. And believe it or not, folks, when you are teaching children sexualized themes that they cannot comprehend, that is known as endangering the welfare of a child. So anyway, and frankly, the company was, or constitutionally, to retaliate against the company in a way that would be harmful to the business and was not something that we could sit back and tolerate. And so we have filed a lawsuit to protect our First Amendment rights there and to protect our businesses, frankly. Hey, guess what, Disney? You're allowed to put all that crap in your content. It doesn't mean that parents are going to tolerate it. You have basically been cannonballing your company into the ground, and you are turning on your investors and your shareholders because of it. Many of your shareholders are not happy with the direction you took the company. So, before I continue, let me just wipe these down. He then added, other issues that you referenced, the last thing that I want is for the company to be drawn into any culture wars. You should have thought about that before you hired people who are screaming left-wing activists who actually want to put LGBTQ-themed things in content made for children. Folks, it is up to the parents to teach children about sex and sexual orientation. It is not up to an entertainment company. It is not up to a teacher. It is up to the parent. We've operated for almost 100 years as a company, making product that we actually are proud of in terms of its impact on the world. I joke every once in a while, we're there to manufacture fun. Yeah, except that now it's no longer fun. Disney's lost the magic. I remember when I went back in 1998 when I was a kid going to Disney World. That was magical. Nowadays, sure, kids can meet the same Disney characters. However, it's way too expensive. It's far too expensive thanks to the economy under Biden, which the Disney execs all get on their knees to worship at the altar of. But anyway, moving on. Iger would later add, I don't really want to engage in the specifics except to say that it is not our goal to be involved in a culture war. Bullshit! Your policy rats out conservatives and rewards those who do so at work in your company. But anyway, our goal is to continue to tell wonderful stories and have a positive impact on the world. Except that you are literally freaking going anti-white with your agendas, folks. Remember, SAG-AFTRA, who many of the actors who work there or who are part of that also work under Disney, are also calling out for less whiteness. See my other video, which I will put up in the card here, especially the end of that video. If you watch it all the way through, you will learn that they are actually wanting to get rid of white people. That's not a joke. That's straight from the horse's mouth. We are a preeminent entertainer in the world. Not anymore, really. And we're proud of our track record there. The notion that Disney is in any way sexualizing children is quite frankly preposterous and inaccurate. What about that Zoom meeting? What about that Zoom meeting that had your entertainment people literally admitting out loud that they are sneaking in sexual themes into entertainment? Care to speculate on that, Mr. Iger? I mean, if this reporter had any sort of integrity, he would ask about those things. He would also ask about the contract policies and whatnot in which you actually out anybody who has any sort of conservative or anti-woke ideals in their company so they can phase and fire them and phase them out. And then promote the person who ratted them out. So yeah, it's interesting to note that his comments to CNBC, he made it explicit that he did not want to be involved in a culture war, but in Martin's report, it's merely about quieting the noise. Looking at Martin's report cynically, it's not hard to see that Iger wants to continue being involved in the culture war issues and actively pushing them through the company's content, its employees' training, its sports and coverage, and more. However, he just doesn't want the company's role in the culture war to be so prominent. Well, here's the thing. Your company is pushing that stuff so overtly, it's hard not to see it. He wants it to be suppressed and quieted. So he's like, yeah, we're going to continue doing it. We just don't want people to know that we're still doing it. Oh, you think you're going to be sneaky? If you look at Martin's report more charitably, it would seem that Iger indeed wants to remove the company from the culture wars that he is embroiled in, or that he embroiled it in. Yes, he was the one who started all of it. However, his words have so far not been followed by any actions. In fact, at the end of August, the company hired President Joe Biden's former national traveling press secretary Remy Yamamoto to be the company's vice president of media relations for its television division. Variety reported that one of her main duties would be to oversee crisis communications and issues-oriented messaging. Yeah. On the Disney Plus front, the company is still pushing the culture war agenda with their upcoming Percy Jackson and the Olympian series on Disney Plus. Series creator Rick Riordan recently defended his and the company's decision to replace a number of characters by claiming it was so everyone could look at the series and see themselves. The so-called diversity agenda that Riordan espoused was exposed as a racist anti-white agenda by Emily Goldstein in that catalog article back in 2015. Goldstein declared diversity is about getting rid of white people, and that is a good thing. I'm extremely glad that the white race is dying, and you should be too. White people do not have a right to exist, period. That may sound like a bold statement. Actually, it sounds like a very disturbing and dangerous statement. But it's entirely true. Any white person with even the faintest knowledge of history should curse themselves every single day for being white. She also asserted diversity is indeed white genocide. Yeah, and white genocide is exactly what the world needs more than anything else. The company still has racial quotas for its numerous productions. The company's Reimagine Tomorrow website states, "We are committed to inspiring a more inclusive world by reimagining the way we tell stories and who tells them. Our intention is to broaden access and diversity in our industry and by adopting inclusion standards across Disney General Entertainment and live-action studio productions by the end of 2022, with the goal of advancing representation in front of and behind the camera in marketing and more." It then links the inclusion standards for ABC Entertainment, which state that 50% or more of regular and recurring written characters come from underrepresented groups, and 50% or more of regular and recurring characters come from underrepresented groups among their among other quotas. So yeah, here's the inclusion standards that were kind of found to be racist. The company is also actively grooming park guests by allowing men to dress up in drag as women at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique at Disneyland. A Disney employee named Nick, dressed in drag, was recorded greeting young children outside the shop back at the end of May. Yeah, there you go, folks. You can actually see that right there. A man in a friggin' dress. 2 other male employees who were wearing drag were also photographed greeting children back in August. This is very disturbing. Not only do they have male employees in drag greeting young children, but the promoting of transgender ideology through decor put up throughout the parks. Yep, look at all that. Disney has the trans non-binary progressive pride flag built into the decor at the parks where children are taking pictures with. Yep. In August, the company partnered with a man who dresses up in young girls' clothes in order to hawk a number of their productions. The company paid Sean Altman to dress up as Minnie Mouse to sell a cake-worthy Minnie Mouse dress and a Disney-branded Citizen Watch Sensational 6. On top of all the evidence, what points to the contrary of Iger's statements, a rumor surfaced at the end of July that WDW Pro noted that Walt Disney's company has no intention to abandon its culture war agenda. A source informed the Scooper, a research subcontractor I know spoke to some brand people over at Disney, and the problem here is that you can't say out loud the drain has come in part because of the DEI, the agenda, the woke stuff that the company has done. You're not allowed to say it. If you say it, you will be let go. You will be silenced. You will be punished. You will be ostracized and put to the side. Remember what I was saying about they are going to try to phase you out if you have any anti-woke ideals or thoughts? They want a hive mind, folks. And if you can't openly talk about the real problems, how can you hope to fix them? The board is a problem. Iger is a problem. Key division heads are a problem, the source declared. WDW Pro also would share information from another source explaining why Disney would not be disengaging from the culture war. The boycott avoidance of Bud Light in a consumer backlash movement is based on the fact that the producer or the product itself is indistinguishable from its main competitors, Miller Lite and Coors Light. It in blinds and all available at the same distribution points, virtually side by side at retail with similar identical prices under normal circumstances. In other words, avoiding that beverage that's under fire is very easy because there is very little inconvenience to the light beer consumer, the source shared. WDW Pro concluded, Disney, on the other hand, avoiding Disney is a major inconvenience, and so perhaps the folks at Walt Disney Company assume consumers would be too burdened by trying to boycott them, and therefore they're not worried about it. Yeah, Disney almost has a monopoly on entertainment, and people are not willing to part ways with the company's streaming services and products because they own so many different products through subsidiaries and whatnot. It's kind of hard not to support them. So why try? You know? On top of all this, while Bob Iger returned as CEO of the Walt Disney Company, he made it very clear the company's immoral agenda and its engagement into culture wars was not going anywhere. He said, do I like the company being embroiled in controversy? He then asked rhetorically to the crowd, of course not. It can be distracting, and it can have a negative impact on the company. And to the extent of that, I can work to quiet things down. I'm going to do that. But I think it's important to put perspective what some of these subjects are and not just simply brand them as political. How much more of this is there? Holy crap. Well, now it's just reporting on rumors. Alright, so there's a little bit more. So, when asked about the company's political position on attempting to stop a bill that's preventing the teaching of sexual orientation and gender identity to children in grades kindergarten through third, Iger declared the company has been telling stories for 100 years, and those stories have had a meaningful positive impact on the world. And one of the reasons that they've had a meaningful positive impact is one of our core values is inclusion, acceptance, and tolerance. And we can't lose that. We just can't lose that. Well, here's the thing. You could be inclusive, you could be tolerant, but you can't be tolerant of things that endanger children. And believe it or not, some of the stuff that these people want to teach children are dangerous. Given this evidence alongside the rumor, it is very difficult to not see Iger's comments as just PR talking points and to try to get the company's immoral actions out of the press. However, while he wants to keep the bad press away, the company will still be full steam ahead in trying to undermine the fabric of the United States and destroying morality. So what do you make of the latest report of Bob Iger wanting to quiet the noise about companies' involvement in the culture war? Essentially, folks, he's saying, we're going to keep doing the woke stuff. We are just going to try to silence anyone in our company who tries calling it out. So they're going after the scoopers. They're going after the inside sources. They're going to try to ferret them out, and they're going to get rid of them. That's my thoughts on this. And honestly, yes, I use Disney Plus because there is content of the older days that I like. I don't watch any of the new crap. However, I do understand it is an unfortunate trade-off because it does include supporting Disney. So yes, I am not one of those pure boycotters, as much as I would love to be. It also harms my ability to give content, you know? Anyway, folks, that is going to be the video. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think that they're going to try to move away from the culture war, or do you think that they're going to just try to censor anyone who is trying to let people know that there is something still wrong at Disney? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below, folks. Also, stay tuned for tonight. We're going live, me and Mara, to discuss Daybreakers. Hope to see you there, 8 p.m. So, yeah, y'all have a wonderful day, and always remember, stay humble.